1, 2, 3, 4.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now.
What up, y'all? It's Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. How you guys doing? It's the Babylon 5 Podcast, as I just said, I believe. Maybe I didn't. But if I didn't, and then let's say it again one more time, it's the Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. This is episode 100, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. I don't know, as I was telling you guys, that notification there, ladies and gentlemen, was to let me know that Bill O'Reilly's accuser reveals the full scope of her alleged harassment. That's what I needed right now. I needed to know what was going on with Bill O'Reilly. I hadn't thought about Bill O'Reilly in quite some time, and I was like, what is going on? Please interrupt the start of this recording. It's episode 100, ladies and gentlemen. And as I was saying, with this M1 Mac, it doesn't let my Atom here. It lets me press record as I press record here with this, but it doesn't let me make beats with this thing. It doesn't connect fully. It's not fully operational yet with the M1 Mac Mini. It's only partially there. They've got updates. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're putting some applause. But this is episode 100. Thank you guys if you've rocked with me, if you've been here with me for 100 hours. 100 hours. I mean, I was saying to my wife, like, man, if you include maybe like the I Digresses, I'm over 100 hours, but definitely like maybe episodes that I've had with her. I think I did like 3 or 4 with her. I think I named one wrong. Named like 2, maybe part 3 or part 2, something like that. Those were usually longer episodes, and the episode I did with Sean Smart, that was a longer episode. So yeah, that was just naturally a longer episode. I don't like to watch this screen. I'd rather hope it go black. So that's the clicking you hear right there. It's just me shutting this shit off. But yeah, we're episode 100, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking like, oh, this is 100 hours, because usually I try to do about an hour. But even with that, I've done longer episodes here, so I'm sure I'm over 100 hours in content released with just the Babylon 5 podcast, without all the extra stuff, without all the Patreon stuff. Some of you cats are missing out. Go ahead and join that Patreon right now. Patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. With all that extra stuff you guys are missing out on. You know, there's all kinds of content. Even when my last album came out, you guys got about 2 weeks early of that album. You'll get about 2 weeks early of this next project here, if you're a patron. That's just how it is. But yeah, this is episode 100. Thank you guys for being here. I'm surprised with myself at like not missing a week. And some of you, if you guys rocked with me every week, you'd be like, well, what about that 1 week? Well, that 1 week didn't count. You're like, oh, what week? I found out 1 week that like right when I was going to release the next episode, I was like releasing clips for the episode. I went and checked like the listens maybe on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and it said that like it was unreleased, and I had like somehow accidentally put it for like a later date than when it should have already been out on that Monday, but I had somehow put it for the wrong date. So it hadn't come out. So I released that one that Sunday and the next one that following Monday. So like, I guess I kind of missed that one, but I dropped it, you know. It's there, I recorded, I put it up there, I just fucked up. Am I human? Or are I dancer? Bitch nigga. Let me give you guys social media. If you want to follow this podcast at Babylon5Pod, that's my handle. If you want to follow my personal account, it's at my name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can also listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, my nigga. Pretty much anywhere podcast stream. If you guys are on Xbox, go ahead and add me at SauceBoss414. I was even thinking about doing a little Civilization a little later, if you know what I mean. And if you guys are on Twitch, go ahead and add me at twitch.tv/Babylon5Pod. If you guys want to support the pod and show people how much you love the podcast, go to teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop and cop some merchandise. We got leggings, t-shirts, baby clothes, whatever the fuck you need over there, you know, just go ahead and check it out. We're turned up today. Sunday fun day, ladies and gentlemen. Wife and I just had a Sunday fun day, which is because I'm obsessed with mixed martial arts. We can get into that later. But if you guys, as I mentioned before, if you're not already there, go ahead and sign up on the Patreon. It's just $1, ladies and gentlemen. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod and be my patron. Be my patron. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, or if not lastly, join my Discord at Babylon5Pod. But lastly, if you're on TikTok, add me at Babylon5Podcast. I just uploaded today because Lo-Fi Sunday is in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. It's Lo-Fi Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. And it's in full effect. I uploaded a 60-second clip. They let you put 60 seconds. I guess I could have woke up earlier and did a little more work to the beat, or even like made a different beat. I kind of phoned it in for this one. I'm not going to lie. I need to go into detail with what that means. I mean, no, once I figured out how to make beats with this Atom, it was like, damn, is this how niggas make beats? I was like, on what? On what is this easy once you learn how to do it? Once you learn how to use the equipment, like, it's just lights. You know what I'm saying? That light comes on at a moment, and that light comes on at a moment. It seems intimidating, but once you learn the program and the shortcuts and all that shit, it's like, damn, this shit is easy. But, yeah, especially when you just make your own loops, nigga, damn. You just make your own loops of all this shit, and then just keep, like, it's not, man, them patterns. I remember when I used to use Fruity Loops, and I was just using that pattern menu thing. It was like you just input, like, you press the fucking, you got the drums or whatever instrument you inserted here at this line, and you have, like, the bars. That's how I used to just make beats with just that box, using Fruity Loops. You know what I'm saying? And using this Atom is like, once I figured out how to really use this goddamn thing, I was like, what? This is crazy. I started cranking out the beats, making some shit. Original shit, some with these samples where I'm taking it, and like if it sounds a certain way, if it sounds like more emo, then I'm throwing trap drums on that shit. You know what I'm saying? On that fucking emo ass sample. That's what I'm doing over there. But fucking Lo-Fi Sunday is in full effect. I didn't get into those. I made the beat that I made today. I didn't phone it in, if you will. I made it. But My thing is that we were drinking. We drank a little bit yesterday. Not we. I drank a little bit yesterday. We went out to eat, and I had a few. I had a fruit. And when we got back, I had a fruit. Had a fruit bruise. Wasn't really drunk. He just had a fruit bruise. But I remember I woke up. I was telling you guys how much I praised this nasal spray, but I woke up being so dehydrated from the alcohol, and I was like completely stuffed up from just naturally having a stuffy nose all the time. And I was dehydrated, and it was like, I woke up like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. But that used to happen all the time. And thankfully, I have nasal spray now that could like give me some kind of outlet to breathe in those situations. I just had to like leave my bed, grab a bottle of water, and just sit, drink. Then I sprayed that nasal spray and just had to chill because it was like I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? I just like woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't breathe. It's not like I praise this nasal spray, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm crazy. It's because I wake up some mornings in the middle of the night, and I can't breathe. I can't breathe, ladies and gentlemen. And then this nasal spray came out of nowhere, and I wake up some nights, and I can't breathe, and I spray it in my nose, and then maybe within like 3 minutes, I can breathe, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'm able to like go back to sleep. That used to be a thing that would never happen. Going back to sleep in that moment, when I'd wake up and I'd be super clogged up, going back to sleep was not an option. It was just staying up, and it's time to do things now because I'm not going to be able to fall asleep anyway. You know what I'm saying? I've been sleeping later these days, ladies and gentlemen. I'm letting you guys know something about me. Letting you know something about Jermaine these days. Jermaine's been sleeping in. I'm in my 30s, all right? I'm in my 30s, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sleeping in lately. And I don't know if it feels good. I feel like I'm missing out on things. That's how I always felt. Every time I've ever slept in, it's like, fuck, there were so many hours in the day where I could have got shit done. I like it better when all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock and I'm like, I did everything I was trying to do this morning. And I guess, I can wing it from here. I'd rather have things done already by that time. I'd rather get them done early than wake up in the morning and be like, rather than waking up later and being like, oh shit, I gotta do this. Oh shit, I gotta do that. And then I gotta go here and I'm at work and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do that. I'd rather wake up super fucking early and get everything done. And then rather than, instead of rushing around hoping I remember everything. But somehow in the middle of that babble, Lo-Fi Sunday is in full effect. If you guys are following me on TikTok, as I said, a Babylon 5 podcast, I posted the video there. Posted it on Instagram. I did not upload it to SoundCloud because I just didn't feel like it. I'll probably edit it a little more before I upload it to SoundCloud if I even do that. But Lo-Fi Sunday is in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. And I wanted to let you guys know about a recent purchase of mine, ladies and gentlemen. I recently became, I believe, the owner of a Chad Ochocinco boxing glove, my nigga. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's mine, my nigga. It's mine. Yeah, just through me being a nigga that be out here looking at sports memorabilia and combat sports, boxing, all kinds of shit, even celebrity boxing. And I say child please a lot. Which originated with Chad Ochocinco. It probably originated with Black Aunties, but made popular by Chad Ochocinco. But personally, Andre on fucking The League, the show about like a bunch of friends who have a fantasy football league. Andre, when he said "child, please," that guy, when he threw it out there, that's when it was like, when I thought that shit was super funny. I'm getting stuffy here. We're gonna let's go ahead and spritz. Yeah, let's be real. All right, let's do it live, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna hear this. But my Chad Ochocinco glove is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm thinking, I have this shelves here. I was saying to my lovely, lovely wife, Sarah, I was saying to her, I have too much shit. I have too many things here. Just in general, I mean, I have too many clothes, I know that. But just in general, I'm wearing one pair of headphones, but right now in my view are 4 other pairs of headphones. Well, I have my Beats, my Sport Beats, the Bluetooth ones that wrap around my ears. Then I have my big Beats, the bigger, the natural, normal looking Beats. I have those Beats. Then I have my other, I have my other studio pair, my Philips pair of headphones, my studio headphones. And then I have that other pair. It has a microphone on it for gaming. Those are my gaming headphones. But maybe somewhere in there I can sort this elsewhere. I got like a fucking webcam here that's shitty. It's a shitty webcam. So I'm getting a new camera. Hopefully that'll be here soon. Hopefully, like, within a couple episodes, we'll have some video here. Hopefully soon. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking hopefully get rid of a lot of this stuff here. I mean, I have my smoke machine here. Maybe that's good for performances. I know that I wasn't allowed to promote the Feel Like No One video, and I would imagine the only reason it said like inappropriate images or some shit like that, and I think the inappropriate image was the fact that there was like fog. I used the fog machine. I think that's what it was, because I know that I wasn't able to promote the Grump on Instagram or Twitter because the cover has me with a cigarette, and you can't promote the use of tobacco. So I wasn't able to promote my album, and I learned that lesson, And then I wasn't able to promote the Feel Like No One video for reasons that wasn't really, it was unclear to me why I wasn't able to promote that video. But I assumed it had to do with the fog, because it wasn't like I was showing the fog machine. It was just like smoky. It looked foggy in there. Foggy on the inside. Because that was the look I was trying to put. Feel Like No One. Shooting it on a fucking either iPhone, or I think we shot it on the iPhone. On my wife's iPhone. But yeah, I'm gonna try to like rearrange the shelving, get rid of half this shit. Gonna have the Ochocinco glove in display. I got my Giannis, maybe I threw it away. Giannis bobblehead. I might have thrown it away because it was broken. You know what I'm saying? It was like absolutely broken. I got Jason Kidd bobblehead. I don't know if that means anything. Yesterday, the wife and I, my lovely, lovely wife and I, we went and saw Space Jam 2. Spoiler alert here. I'm talking about the movie. I'm not really trying to hold too much back. If you guys haven't seen it, maybe skip ahead about 10 minutes or so. But I thought it was a cool movie, I thought it was a pretty cool movie. My wife felt the way. She felt that way too. You know, and it was funny. Like, I say one of the funniest moments of the movie was just because, like, before the movie came out, I heard rumors that Michael Jordan was going to be in the movie. I heard those rumors. I mean, I said it to one of my coworkers. I'm like, yeah, I heard Michael Jordan's going to be in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard that Michael Jordan was in the movie. And just like the first Space Jam, LeBron's team in the Toon Squad, they're losing. You know what I'm saying? They're down in the locker room, like, oh shit, we need a pick me up. This is the moment where Michael Jordan gave them the water bottle. Somebody wrote Mike's secret stuff. It was just water in the water bottle, and then gave it out to them, and everybody got real like supercharged and went out there and started balling. You know, so this was the halftime moment. This is the time for Mike's secret stuff. And they're like, yo, we found Michael Jordan sitting out in the fucking stands. Because, you know, they did it where LeBron's son is more into the tech world and making video games than he is playing basketball. But LeBron doesn't understand that because when he was younger, people told him he needed to, like his coach in the... It was fucking Avon Barksdale from The Wire. Avon Barksdale tells... Avon Barksdale tells LeBron James, you better put these video games down and focus. You're the best basketball player I've ever seen. So he was told to put the Looney Tunes video game down. He had the Looney Tunes game on Game Boy. He threw it away to get serious. Focus on the game of basketball. But his son is focused on the world of gaming. Not so much the world of basketball. And he has this app on his phone in this attachment where he's able to scan people and he's making characters for this video game. LeBron and his son get sucked into the digital world by algorithm, by the supercomputer, doing some Matrix shit. They suck LeBron and his son into the computer world, and they make it so that LeBron has to play his son's team in his son's video game for their lives, essentially. Like, the son doesn't know and basically won't listen to LeBron, but it's like, if LeBron in the Toon Squad loses, then everybody stays in the fucking computer world forever. Like, they through this technology that he was using to scan, they absorbed a lot of people. Whoever was watching this live stream of LeBron versus his son got sucked into the computer. And so that's why they were like, Michael Jordan is here. All right? And they're like, it's halftime. Just skipping all over to that. It's halftime, time for Mike's secret stuff. And Sylvester's like, hey, I found Michael Jordan. He was just out in the stands, like with everybody else. Like, he's right here. And then they're like playing the music that... You know what I'm talking about, that Michael Jordan music they play for that Bulls squad. That starting at guard from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you watch basketball in the 90s, you know damn well what I'm talking about. If you played 2K a few years ago when Michael Jordan was on the fucking cover, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out to my boy Nate Fisher sending me beats. He posted, I've been meaning to get at him. Oh, he sent me beats already. Fuck yeah. I've been meaning to get at him and be like, yo, man, like, I need some more beats. I would love some more beats. Just to, like, put him on projects. I didn't put his beats on my last project because I had a deal worked out with Regal to just do the project with him. You know what I'm saying? Just to do the project with him. Otherwise, the project did have Nate's beats, and, like, I would love to have some Nate's beats, like, as official projects, fully mixed and all that, you know what I'm saying? Would love to have that soon. He just sent me some shit, so I can't wait. Shout out to Nate. Can't wait to hear some of this shit. Y'all ain't finna hear it right now, but so it's halftime. They found Mike in the in the audience. Spoiler alert. And they're playing that music. And it walks up, and it's fucking Michael B. Jordan. All right? It's Michael B. Jordan. They're like, yo, nigga, that's Michael B. Jordan. We looking for Michael A. Jordan. Like, legit. Like, and then Michael B. Jordan still tries to give them, like, a fucking, like, convincing speech. Like, come on, guys. We just got to blah, blah, blah. And, like, LeBron's just like, hey, bro, And he's like, oh, all right. I'm just going to go back. It's like, because I was hearing rumors that Michael Jordan was in the movie, and then it's fucking Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Maybe you had to be there in my life hearing those rumors that Michael Jordan was going to be in the movie, only to see Michael B. Jordan. And then they had Porky. Porky Pig did a rap battle, quote-unquote rap battle, to the beat of Flavor in Your Ear, Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear. But it was like a rap battle, but Porky spit his shit. Then he dropped the mic, which I'm annoyed by. But he spit his verse, and the other person didn't spit a verse, and they just gave Porky points. I was like, well, that's not a battle. Homeboy at least got a joke. He at least got to be like, nah, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that happened and I missed it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something I missed. But it was like the whole point of the movie was like LeBron had to like learn how to have fun because he was like against his son focusing on the video game world and not focusing on getting serious in the basketball world like he was told he needed to do in order to become who he was. And LeBron needed to realize that they were not him. That was the whole thing. Like, oh, shit, they're not me. I need to let them be their own person. That was the point of the whole movie. It all looked like Kingdom Hearts. They stole, Marvin Martian. And they stole his ship, and there was all these tiny little worlds, like Harry Potter world. And, like, LeBron was like, oh, shit, Hufflepuff, I knew it. LeBron was excited to be Hufflepuff. Nigga, who gives a fuck about those random two houses? Oh, shit, I'm Ravenclaw. Thank you. I knew I was Ravenclaw this whole time. Nigga, name 7 Ravenclaws. Nigga, name 7 Ravenclaws. Nigga, not never. You can't. Alright? That's how I feel right now. Name 7 Ravenclaws. Off the top of your head. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Name 7 Ravenclaws. Nobody's excited to be Hufflepuff, nigga. Unless you give me a bag of that good Hufflepuff, my nigga. Give me a good bag of that Hufflepuff, and I might be like, okay, alright. Hufflepuff. I sit down in the chair after smoking it on that good bag. And the hat, they put the hat on my head and he's like, Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff. That's what he says. But no, it looked like I was playing Kingdom Hearts. If you never played Kingdom Hearts, you travel through space, and then there'll be like tiny, like Hercules world over here, tiny Lion King world over there. You can fly to whatever world, and then you get there, and it is what it is. It looked just like that, except they had cooler worlds. It looked like what I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was gonna look like with the more worlds. I feel like Kingdom Hearts, they got potential. When I'm looking at this shit, how much they're doing, I'm like, why didn't, like, Kingdom Hearts could stretch this shit out. Like, I was waiting for that game to come out for, like, 13 years. And when it finally came out, it took me like an hour to beat it. I'm exaggerating, but it was pretty quick. It took me like, I took like a weekend off from work to play that game, or a week. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. I think like, because the busy days back in those days would have been like Wednesday. So I would have taken off from like Thursday through like, Thursday through, I would have just taken off Thursday, Friday. I was already off Sunday, Monday. So I would have taken vacation days for those days in order just to play this game, and I beat it before the weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh shit. Well, I mean, I was just home. Like, my wife, she wasn't even my wife at the time. We were dating. We were a couple at the time. And she'd be at work naturally, and I'd be at home. I took work off to play this game. And so I'd have all these hours just to play this game, and it was like before the weekend came, I beat the game. And I was like, that can't be real, because I waited 13 years for this game. But you saw like a better glimpse of what it could have looked like in Space Jam 2. Space Jam: A New Legacy. They had like in the background, you see like Joker, Pennywise. You see like all kinds of characters from all over Warner Bros. And it was pretty cool. I say it was a pretty cool movie. I say the most interesting part of it for me was when they had Don Cheadle as the coach. I'm sure like there were certain things that I missed out on, even certain things that I didn't catch. But what I picked on was like when he was dressed like Bobby Knight, and then another scene he was dressed like Belichick, and he would like behave in the way like when he was dressed like Belichick, he didn't really talk. Because that's not what Belichick is known for. He's known for being stoic. He's got the hoodie, head down. That's what he was doing when he was dressed like Belichick. Then the next scene, he's wearing a red fucking like shirt, looking like fucking Bobby Knight. It was pretty fucking cool. My wife didn't pick up on it. I was showing her the pictures. Like, yeah, at this point he was that. Then he did like, and she's like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. And I'm like, yeah, like when I'm sitting in the theater, I'm like, holy shit, he was doing the Bobby Knight. Holy shit, now he's Belichick. Holy shit, like the like depending on the scene, his like appearance changed, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool movie. Actually, I was thinking about like I probably wouldn't watch it again, but just as I was thinking just now, just talking about it, like there's probably a lot that I didn't pick up on. That's probably pretty cool. So I probably watch it once or twice more times. You know, I thought it was a pretty cool movie. I saw people hating on LeBron James acting, saying, "Oh, LeBron's a bad actor." Compared to who? Bugs Bunny? Daffy Duck, my nigga? Who were you comparing his acting to in the movie? Old girl from Walking Dead, Sasha, comparing him to Sasha from The Walking Dead. We talking about a movie where the top NBA player plays a basketball game in a video game world that his son created. His team, LeBron James, is all the top Looney Tunes from the 1930s. His opponents, his son, his actor's son, not actual son, made up son, and all the fucking top NBA and WNBA basketball players that he recreated into fucking monsters just for the sake of the video game and the movie. And you guys are like, oh, LeBron James can't act. Well, what did you think about Anthony Davis's acting? Oh, you don't have a comment? You only want to talk about LeBron because he's a star? That's silly. That shit is silly. LeBron killed that movie. That was a good movie. All right? Went and saw a matinee with my lady. And it was cool. It was cool. It wasn't packed. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but to each its own, I guess. I would suggest you guys go out there and check out Space Jam: A New Legacy. Thought it was pretty cool. I think you could even do a second movie not too far in the future. My only thing, my wife pointed it out. She was like, yo, they called it Space Jam, the first one, because they were playing a game against aliens, creatures from space. And in this game, they didn't play a game against creatures from space. So why was it Space Jam? It was like, damn, that's crazy. Why was it Space Jam? They showed the aliens from the first movie for like a second. Like maybe 3 seconds on screen. Like nonstop, like there they are. Like, oh shit, there they are. And that was it. But they weren't playing a game against aliens. It wasn't a Space Jam. That was the only thing that was... I guess it was a cyberspace jam, if you will. I guess it was a cyberspace jam. It's a cyberspace jam. It's your chance. Do your dance. Cyberspace jam. All right. Wave your hands in the air if you feel fine. My wife and I were upset that they did not incorporate that song into the second movie. Because how can you have Space Jam without that song? I remember when I was a kid, they would bring skates. Somehow they rented skates from Rolero. And they would let us skate around for recess in the gym. And they would play that song, all the songs from the 90s. You know, all this shit. But that Space Jam song was probably my favorite song to roll around to. Welcome to the Space Jam. It's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right. Anywho. That was my shit back in the day. That was my shit. But if you guys got the time, go ahead and check out Space Jam 2. I think you can, in these days, you don't even have to go to theaters. You can watch it in the comfort of your own home. It's a pretty cool movie. They got everybody in there. Lil Rel, Ernie Johnson. Everybody's in that movie. Nigga, everybody is in that movie. Then they got the whole Justice League. All they got, like, you'll see hella characters all through that movie. You'll be like, oh shit. It's a pretty interesting movie. I would say go check it out. The other day, so also like yesterday, my wife and I, we went and saw that movie early, went home, kicked back. And then we went to Morel Resturant. A.K.A. Mike Taki, my nigga. We got free champagne. Free anniversary champagne. It's not our anniversary, but I guess someone else with the same last name put in a reservation for an anniversary. So they brought us free champagne, and we was like, yo, it ain't our anniversary, but fuck, we'll drink the champagne. Wife got the spare rib. I got an old fashioned with the king salmon. That old fashioned was the booziest shit I've had since straight liquor, nigga. Since just drinking straight liquor. That shit was boozy. That old fashioned at Morel. But it was a pretty chill restaurant. I thought it felt more, I thought it would be more of a dressy kind of place. And then when I went there, it was like more of a casual kind of vibe. I thought it would be a little more dressy. But they even got like a back patio area, and no, it seemed pretty cool. Got pretty good cocktails. My salmon was pretty good. My wife's ribs were pretty good. It was pretty decent restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And then today, ladies and gentlemen, we were going to go to Dorsia next week. I had a reservation for Dorsia. I don't know if you necessarily need to make a reservation for Dorsia, but I made a reservation. And but I went in there and I was like, yo, let's just go today. Let's go Sunday, because when we were planning to go next week Saturday, it would have been at like in the probably the middle of the main event for the UFC. I didn't realize that they were starting early. Like the preliminary started like 3 o'clock, so it's like main card starting at 5 o'clock. I was like, we're gonna miss all the cools. I like to watch all the fights, so I'm like, let's just go to Dorsia. And Dorsia was pretty good food. I'm actually probably about to max that in a little bit here. I'm kind of hungry from all the alcohol, if anything. But Dorsia was pretty fire. We got like calamari, had a couple drinks, had a fucking some shit that was called an Italian sunrise. Then I copped like a sour old fashioned, and then I copped a Manhattan. We're from Wisconsin, all right? We're from Wisconsin. But then I ordered we got a flight. We got 3 different pastas. We got some ravioli. It was like some vegan ravioli and some really good sauce. Then there was some duck carbonara. There's like bucatini, some duck meat all over it. It was pretty good. Then there was some other pasta with the lobster mac. The lobster mac. That's what was the other shit. And they were giving you thick pieces of lobster. Most places you go when you get lobster mac, you get like barely any lobster. You're like, oh, maybe that's the lobster. That looks like a different color. Maybe that's lobster. Oh, is that lobster over there? You know, they give you the little pieces of lobster. But they gave you pretty decent pieces of lobster at Dorsia. So if you want some decent pieces of lobster in your lobster mac, ladies and gentlemen, if you want decent pieces of lobster in your lobster mac, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna go to Dorsia. Yeah, go to Dorsia and you get some decent pieces. That voice right there, if you guys are wondering, sometimes when I'm just fucking with my wife, I'll like imitate her as if like whatever she said, as if she sang it in that voice, as if she just smoked like a long cigarette, a long Virginia Slim, and she's just been smoking cigarettes for the past fucking 25 years. You know what I'm saying? She's just like, hey, big boy. I love doing that with my wife. Love it. It's my favorite thing. We're from Wisconsin, so we ate that pasta. And my wife, she had the great idea. Let's stop at the Tiki Bar. Let's stop at the Foundation in River West for a nice little nightcap. Have one more little cocktail, a little stiff drink, ladies and gentlemen. We're from Wisconsin. I can put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin. But you can understand why I'm so lit right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fucking about 4 sheets to the wind. And all we are, ladies and gentlemen, is dust in the wind. So we stopped at Foundation. And we got our souvenir cups, if you will. But the most interesting part about that is that that's probably the first time I've been to the Foundation. Maybe 5-6 years. Because the last time I was there, I blacked out drunk. I was blacked out drunk. I blacked out before I even got there. But I wanted to go. I was talking about going before I blacked out. I remember that. Then I blacked out, and I guess we went there anyway. And apparently, from what I was told, I don't remember this shit at all, because me, I would never do it. You know what I'm saying? I would never do these things. But apparently, drunk Jermaine, apparently the bartender was making a drink for someone else, and I just chose to. The guy I was with said he was looking at me, and I was staring at the drink. Staring at the guy, staring at the glass. The guy's pouring this drink, and I'm just staring at it. And he says to me, like, "Hey, bro, you good?" And I just knocked the drink off the bar. Glass breaks into the fucking tub of ice. Shatters. Glass in the ice. And, yeah, and they're like, "Yo, you gotta get out of here." Or they're like, "Yo, he did that on purpose." And, guy I was with was like, my boy, he's like, nah, he didn't, he's not blackout drunk. I'm blackout drunk. And I shouldn't have been there. I was already blackout before we got to Foundation, which if you're not from Wisconsin, this bar Foundation is just known back in the day to have some of the strongest drinks in the city. All right? So I was already blackout before we got there. Because I was drinking Blind Russians, which are fucking Baileys, Tito's, if you're me. Baileys, Tito's, and then like some kind of coffee liqueur. Some fancy coffee liqueur. Nigga. Just all liquor. That's what I was drinking before, and I blacked out. And then we went to fucking Foundation, and I apparently broke this glass into this fucking bin of ice. And they were like, "Yo, he did that on purpose." And my boy was like, "Nah, he didn't. No, it was an accident." And apparently I was like, "Nah, I did it on purpose." I was like, "Nah, I did it on purpose." And apparently I was like, "I did it on purpose because he a bitch." I was talking about the bartender. And apparently I was trying to fight the bartender. And for whatever reason. And they're like, "Yo, he's got to get out of here." And I was like, "All right, I'm gone." And they said I like stormed off. And homeboy I was with said he like was about to finish his drink, come outside, but he like just heard like a bang, and he looks over because he hears a bang, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And they look over, and I like had just stiff armed the window, so they got colored windows, and I guess apparently my drunk ass thought that was the door, and I stiff armed the window and made a loud bang. And freaked everybody out. I'm so thankful it didn't break and kill me. You know, I'm so thankful that it didn't break and kill me, but that's how faded I was. I thought the colored window was a fucking door. Apparently, even after that, though, I went home. It was icy outside at the time. And I had this long driveway. Homeboy was dropping me off. Apparently, like, get out of the car, I'm walking up the driveway and just face plant. I just face plant. I remember I woke up in the morning and, like, just, I was sore. My face was, like, kind of cut up a little bit. It was like, yo, man, I was fucked up yesterday. I was still fucked up when I got to work the next day. I remember that. But anywho, I was faded. I'm from Wisconsin. And that's my first time being back at that bar since those shenanigans. But nobody seemed to recognize me. I don't know who was there that day. I was blacked out before we got there. We shouldn't have been there. I should have been around people who would take better care of your boy. But I finally finished the comic books of The Walking Dead. I used to be super into the show, and then through that I started reading the comics. Then at some point, the comics ended, but I had never finished the comics. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit, I just had a thought in my mind, like, yeah, let me just finish the comics. Maybe because, like, no, it's not even Space Jam, because I finished it before we watched Space Jam. But the lady who played LeBron James' wife, played Sasha in The Walking Dead, that actress. And, but I just had a thought the other day. I was like, I never finished it. Let me just finish it. And I go into it, and then right away I knew, like, I went into episode 91, or issue 191, and I saw how that ended, where this one character shoots the character Rick, the main character, just shoots him in his chest. And it caught me, like, as a 31-year-old, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my 30s. And 29-year-old Jermaine wasn't ready for that. And in my 30s, I was like, oh fuck, I remember why I didn't want to read the next issue. Then the next issue came out, and like a day or maybe the same day the next issue came out, it was like announced that the next issue would be the last issue. And I was like, what the fuck? So here we are 2 years later. And I finally finished the Walking Dead comic. And it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. It's crazy how they ended. They do like a time skip. Rick does die. Like they go into... I've 2 years ago, I stopped at 191, so I finished that. I went through 191 again to refresh myself. I was like, oh shit, that guy shoots Rick. And I was like, that's why I didn't want to see this anymore. And then the second one comes, he shoots Rick like 2 more times. Maybe more. And I was like, fuck. Just leaves Rick laid there, like, just... all these holes in him. I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It got me again. I was like, yeah, I wasn't ready for that. Young 29-year-old crying ass Jermaine. Jermaine was emotional in his 20s. I'm still emotional now if you ask my wife. But young 29-year-old Jermaine was too emotional for to watch Rick get shot in that way, and even in my 30s, ladies and gentlemen, I was like, fuck, they kill Rick in that way, and then they go to Carl breaking down through it all. And then they do like a time skip for the last issue. There's a time skip for the last issue where like Carl is an adult. Things have progressed to the point through what Rick had put in place where you basically don't see any, like, zombies anymore, any more Walking Dead anywhere. And, well, it starts with him as an adult, and there's a Walking Dead that walks up on his property, and he last second, like, kills it. But then he ends up being sued by the son of Glenn, who owned that walker as property for his traveling circus. So it's illegal to kill the dead now, because they've progressed into a place where it's such a scarcity to see like the Walking Dead like that they're now like a high-priced commodity. That people like Glenn's son, Glenn and Maggie's son, Maggie's like the president of that whole shit. Their child travels around with this traveling circus of fucking walkers. It's fucking nutty. I'm reading this last issue like, yo, who the fuck? What the fuck was on your mind when you wrote that this is the last issue? A time skip to a world where Glenn's son has a traveling carnival of walkers and he's like a fucking nutty ass dude suing fucking Carl for damaging his for destroying his property, killing a walker. It was wild, alright? But then, like, so it ends, and, like, you got the guy who wrote it. Oh, I forget his name. It doesn't matter to me. But he's explaining how he's the type of person where, and I'm the same type, where, like, if I'm watching a series, let's say if I'm putting Ozark on, new season of Ozark, I don't want to know how many episodes are in Ozark. Let's just play it. If we're on episode 7... and there's only 7 episodes of that season, I don't want to know that there's only 7 episodes of that season. When it ends, when that episode ends, like, I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. And then it ends, and then it comes up with, like, nothing else after it. I'm going to be like, what? That was the end of it? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be, like, that's going to be much more exciting to not know that was the end of it. And the whole point, they explained that he announced it a week before they put it out is because he didn't want anybody to know that it was coming. He's the type of person like me where when he's watching a series or something like that, if he's watching a movie, he doesn't want to know how long it is. He doesn't want to know when it's about to end. He doesn't want to have an inkling that this is the end of it all because it's much more entertaining, and I agree with that. So at that point, I was like, I think it's Robert Kirkman. At that point, I was like, yo, that's pretty dope, all right? That's a pretty dope way to do. So it was a pretty cool ending to the comic. I'm happy I finally finished it. Young 20-something-year-old Jermaine was not ready for it 2 years ago, and I finally finished it. So shout out to you. This is episode 100, ladies and gentlemen. We're calling it Still Bitter, if I didn't mention that. Got the Brody Sean Smart to bless me with a 16 for the new project, which will be called Still Bitter. I mentioned, like, I thought maybe it was going to be called Still Bitter, but yeah, it's going to be called Still Bitter. Eating Noodles Alone is a cool title, but it's going to be called Still Bitter, especially with the cover I have in title, everything. The content material, Still Bitter works. It's the name of this project, definitely Still Bitter. But I got the boy Sean Smart on there. He's, as of right now, the only feature. I don't know if I'm going to, like, even reach out to any more people. But it's got me in a mood. Just having Sean here. Sean's coming to town tomorrow, I believe. Just talking to Sean, having him getting on his song. And he was telling me he's working with Bull. I was like, fuck, man. You got me wanting to just, like, work. We need to get everybody together. All the rappers. Get everybody together. And let's just work on some shit. That's how I'm at. Like, but it won't happen. I know it won't happen. I think things deteriorated to the point. I'm like, with me and Will Rose, we both make beats. As far as I know, I don't know if anybody else makes beats, but, like, just us rappers could get together and work on some shit because me and Will make beats, so it's gotten me feeling like I want that to happen, but it won't happen. There won't be a reunion. I don't think it will. Ladies and gentlemen, the Milwaukee Bucks are currently 3-2 in the NBA Finals. We're one game away from NBA champions. There was a time where everybody in this city hated on Milwaukee. Fuck everybody. I was about to tell a story about going to Chicago. This nigga was talking about, I don't even consider the Milwaukee a team. I could tell that story, but there's so many days where people in this city hated on my Bucks. And now you motherfuckers is down there dancing. But here we have a chance here for Tuesday. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to bring home the Larry O'Brien, I believe, championship. They're going to bring it where it belongs. Bring it home, ladies and gentlemen. The Milwaukee Bucks will be your NBA championships, hopefully, on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down with 3-2 in the finals. We just need one win, and we're champions. Giannis has evolved. Your Giannis has evolved from Greek freak into the Greek god. And eventually, he'll become that nigga we talk about at the barber shop. It's a Sunday fun day, ladies and gentlemen. Giannis has evolved. As I told you niggas many times before, you already know who Chris Middleton is. That's a bad mamma jamma right there. My favorite player for years. Only jersey I have back there. I done told you guys. I told you guys who Chris Middleton was. You already know who that boy is. But your Greek freak just evolved into the Greek god, ladies and gentlemen. He just evolved. Looks like a real leader out there. And on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing home the ship. We're bringing home the ship. We're bringing home the ship. Bucks in 6. It's over. I feel like I've been babbling for a long time. I don't know. Just because I feel that way, I'm just going to skip this whole... I was going to go on a Conor McGregor rant, but I'm going to skip it. Got UFC Vegas 31 that just went on. We got just notable fights here, a couple notable fights. You had Miesha Tate. She finished Marion Renault. Marion Renault's retirement fight. She announced she's going to retire, win or lose after that fight. Miesha Tate looked great in that fight. I think she finished her in the 3rd round, I believe. By punches. She's the first person to finish Marion Renault, who happens to be like 10 years older. She's 44, 10 years older than Miesha Tate. And this was her retirement fight. So, and she was saying how, like, yeah, that's a good sign that it's time to retire. She's got finished for the first time. It's a good time to leave the sport. So shout out to Miesha Tate. She's back. She's like all banned from weights could get it. She was saying she's here, not just to compete, but she wants to fight for a championship. So she's like, she wants to fight whoever. Hopefully, she looked great. She looked great. I don't feel like the sport has passed her by. I feel like her skills are there. So welcome back, Miesha Tate. And in the main event, you had Islam Makhachev versus Thiago Moises, man. Islam just mauled this man for 4 rounds. He was all over the place. I was watching the Weasels break down, and he was showing how, like, people would, they'd be going for this move. Like Moises would shoot a takedown. He's going for the double leg while he's trying to secure his certain hand movements. Islam is either pushing the head down, going for knees. He's doing all kinds of shit to shut this down. But he's attacking 2 different things. He's 2 steps ahead of you and shutting you down while you haven't even secured step 1. Like, Islam was all over this man. I thought it would be somewhat of a tough fight for Islam, but no, it wasn't. He mauled this man for 4 rounds, called out RDA afterwards. I feel like he wanted to fight Like, Paul Felder interviewed him afterwards. He was like, I know you're retired, but all these other guys, they're scared. I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, yo, Paul, you can get it, nigga. That's a little bit like, I know you're retired, but all these other guys, like, yeah, you quit, but you could get it. Like, all y'all fight me right now. I feel like he should come out of retirement, fight Islam Makhachev. That boy's a beast, all right? He's a fucking beast. I think he beats RDA. Fuck. I don't know if he beats Oliveira. I used to say Oliveira would beat Khabib, but I honestly feel like Islam's striking is better than Khabib. And he's taller, he's lankier than fucking Khabib, and he has better striking, and he has better takedown defense and better takedown accuracy. Like, when he goes for a takedown, he usually gets you down. He's like 10% higher accuracy than Khabib. So, like, it's a whole other fucking ball game. It's not the same fight just because they fight at the same camp. That's two different fights. So I don't know, man. He could be the next champion. Not necessarily the very next champion, because you already have Poirier scheduled to fight Oliveira. But I don't know who's going to be able to deal with that wrestling. I don't see Poirier wanting to fight Makhachev anytime soon. After already fighting Khabib, he doesn't want any of that. I doubt it. That boy's a problem for everybody at 155. Looks like he'd be a problem at 170 if he chose to. It's a big boy. And next week we got UFC Vegas 32, headlined by TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen. We got the return of TJ Dillashaw. Mr. EPO got caught on that same shit that Lance Armstrong was on. I don't know. We don't know what TJ looks like. And he's fighting top competition of the division right now in Corey Sandhagen. I'm rooting for Sandhagen I'm not rooting for anybody. I never root for anybody. I mean, I root. If you're from Milwaukee, I root for you. But I make picks. And if I'm making a pick here, I would say the very active fighter, Corey Sandhagen, who's at the top of his game, is going to be my pick here. I don't know what Dillashaw is going to look like in there. Especially, let's say potentially he was on EPO the entire time he became, like, on his run up to becoming champion, and while he was champion, let's say he was on EPO that whole time. Then I don't know what Dillashaw looks like off EPO. I don't know what that Dillashaw looks like, so I don't know what I'm going to get there. So from what I do know, I'm rolling with Sandhagen. Then you got another fight I'm interested in next week that I was like, damn, this ain't got no hype and should be, like, ringing alarm bells if you're Macy Barber. You got Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Miranda Maverick's going to just work Macy Barber here, man. Macy Barber is strong, but I think she should switch her camps, man. As I've said here before, I don't think she's getting the proper training. Maybe go to Faraz Sahabi. Maybe go back to Colorado. I know that sounds crazy. Your whole family moved here from Wisconsin, from Colorado. Maybe go back to Colorado. Train with homeboy. Who's homeboy? The nigga that trains Justin Gaethje and Kamaru Usman and Rose Namajunas. That guy. Trevor Whitman. Go train with Trevor Whitman out in Colorado. Go back home. I just don't think you're getting the proper training. And I think if you went with a guy like Trevor Whitman, she's so strong. She has the skills where someone who actually who had the expertise of a Trevor Whitman, as we've seen, could really sound up her striking skills. With what we've seen with Usman with his fucking jabs. If that was Macy Barber out there In the women's, I think that's the potential of Macy Barber, to be like a female Usman. But it's not going to happen at Rufus Sport. I don't believe so. So I got Miranda Maverick taking that fight. Another fight I'm interested in is Brendan Allen versus Punahele Soriano, man. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that fight. Brendan Allen was a Rufus Sport guy, but he left after so-so results. He left Rufus Sport, went to a different gym, and then looked like a savage. I feel like there's definitely, I'm not saying like Rufus Sport is necessarily like a useless gym. I'm definitely not saying that in any way. I'm not saying it looks like a useless gym. There's definitely a lot to be learned there, but I don't think it should be like, as far as somebody's main gym, it doesn't seem to suit too many people in the modern times with what you need to do. So, in that fight, I don't know. I usually, if I go against a Hawaiian, I've tended to feel pretty dumb about that. So, I guess that would tell me to be Punahele, but at the same time, I love Brendan Allen's fucking grappling. He's got great grappling, which I just never want to go against, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into it, and when Saturday comes, I'll let you guys know my pick on Instagram. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see those pics, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can listen to this podcast. You can follow me at Babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast, as I said, on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. If you guys are on Xbox, go ahead and add me at SauceBoss414. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and add me at twitch.tv/Babylon5Pod. You can add me on Discord at Babylon5Pod. If you guys want to show how much you support the podcast in the real world, go to teespring.com/stores/Babylon. No, Jermaine. Go to teespring.com/stores/BOFpod-shop. And if you guys want to be my patrons, it's just $1. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. And then you guys can follow me on TikTok at Babylon5Podcast. This has been your boy Jermaine Event. And this is episode 100, Still Bitter. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me all this time. You're the sweetest. Please take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican